Hello friends, and welcome to Storytime with Teacher Julian. I happen to have this right here, and I happen to have this right here. Put them together. This is the third time we'll be reading A Pocket for Corduroy. It was written by Don Freeman, and it being our third time to read this, I just wanted to ask you, do you remember what this story is about? It says it in the title, and you can see something that he's wearing. It gives you a hint. Yes. This story is about a little bear, something that he has in his hand, something that he has his other hand in. So, let's get started. A Pocket for Corduroy. As we read our story, let's try to identify different clothes and different items as we read. It'll be kind of like a little game, okay? Late one summer afternoon, Lisa and her mother took their laundry to the laundromat. As always on such trips, Lisa carried along her toy bear, Corduroy. You can see that Mom's wearing a coat. They're both wearing pants. He's wearing overalls, little Corduroy. She's wearing a sari. She's wearing a scarf. And the man's wearing a t-shirt. And they're at a laundromat. And a laundromat's a place where people can go and wash their clothes and dry them all at one time. The laundromat was a very busy place at this hour. She has a scarf on her head as well. Now, Corduroy, you sit right here and wait for me, Lisa said. I'm going to help with our wash. Corduroy waited patiently. Then he suddenly perked up his ears. So if he's waiting patiently, it means he's not in a hurry. He's waiting and watching. And his ears perked up, which means that they kind of lifted up a little bit because he heard something. Lisa's mother was saying, "Be sure to take everything out of your pockets, Lisa dear. You don't want your precious things to get all wet and soapy." So you see, there's the pocket right there that she's looking into for anything that might be precious. Now, precious things are something of value to the person. Something that, means a lot to them. Maybe your favorite toy, maybe your blankie, or your stuffy. Something that means a lot to you. Pockets? Corduroy said to himself. I don't have a pocket. He slid off the chair. I must go find something to make a pocket out of, he said, and he began to look around. Was that a good idea? What do you think? First, he came to a pile of fancy towels and washcloths, but nothing was the right size or color. Could he have used any of these things? His little Corduroy, but these seem to be maybe a little bit too big. What size would he need to make a pocket out of? What could he have done? Then he saw a huge stack of colorful clothes in a laundry bag. There ought to be something in there to make a good pocket out of, he said. Without hesitating, he climbed inside the bag, which was filled with pieces of wet laundry. The dampness didn't bother Corduroy in the least. "This must be a cave," he said, sighing happily. "I've always wanted to live in a dark, cool cave." When the time came for Lisa to fetch her bear, he was gone. "Oh, Mommy," she exclaimed, "Corduroy isn't where I left him." "I'm sorry, honey," said her mother, "but the laundromat will be closing soon, and we must be getting home." So when it says that she went to go fetch Corduroy, it means that she went to go get him. That's fetching. Lisa was reluctant to leave without Corduroy, but her mother insisted. "You can come back tomorrow," she said. "I'm sure he will still be here." Look at her face. Oh, look what I noticed about Mom. Mom's wearing like a headband. And look at the man here. He's wearing some pants, and look, he's got a pocket right there for his for something in his back pocket. As they left, a young man wearing an artist's beret was taking his wet laundry out of a bag, the very bag that Corduroy had discovered. Before he knew it, Corduroy was being tossed together with all the shirts, sheets, shorts, and slacks. So take a close look at what he is wearing right here. That little hat is called a beret. It's kind of short and flat and kind of floppy. He wears it on top of his head. And it says that he's getting some slacks out of the bag. Slacks is a different name for pants. Sometimes slacks are like what you wear with a suit. So we put those into the dryer. But just as the artist was shutting the glass door, Corduroy tumbled out onto the floor. "How in thunder did that bear ever get mixed up with all my things?" the artist wondered. The look on his face tells me that he's a little surprised or shocked. Poor Corduroy was damp all over. "The least I can do for him is to give his overalls a good drying," said the man thoughtfully. He unbuttoned Corduroy's shoulder straps and put his overalls in the dryer. So you see right here, these pants with the little straps and the buttons. Those are overalls. Sometimes you see farmers wearing them. But that seems to be what Corduroy wears all the time. Corduroy grew dizzy as he watched the clothes spinning round and round. But the artist became inspired. "This would make a wonderful painting," he said as he took a sketch pad out of his pocket and began drawing the swirling colors. "I can hardly wait to get back to my studio." Look at all the colors. How they're swirling around. Finally, the dryer stopped whirling, and the man gathered up all the clothes. Then he helped Corduroy put on his warm, dry overalls. All at once, the manager of the laundromat called, "Closing time! Everybody out!" Corduroy was gently placed on top of a washing machine. "I wonder who that bear belongs to," said the artist as he was leaving. "Seems to me he should have his name someplace. He's too fine a fellow to be lost." You see the artist has in his pocket, he has his sketch pad and his beret. As soon as the lights were turned off, Corduroy began to search again. He was surprised to see something white glowing in the dark. "Maybe it's snow," he said excitedly. "I've always wanted to play in the snow." Does that look like snow to you? Right here, all the little flakes falling. He accidentally tipped over the open-lidded box, and suddenly he was covered with soft, slippery soap flakes. Gradually, Corduroy began to slip and slide. "Oh, what fun," he said with a smile. "I have always wanted to ski down a steep mountainside." He does look like he's having fun. Remember, he was up on top. Now look where he's going. He landed paws first in an empty laundry basket. "This must be a cage," he said, peeking through the bars. "I've never wanted to live inside of a cage like a bear in the zoo." Poor Corduroy. What does his face tell you? Yeah, seems a little sad. But by now, Corduroy felt drowsy, and soon he nodded off to sleep. The next morning, when the manager came to open the door of the laundromat, there was Lisa waiting. "I left something here yesterday," she explained. "May I look around?" "Certainly," said the manager. "My customers are always leaving things." See, he's wearing a different kind of shirt. It has a collar on it. It's not a t-shirt. It's like a pullover shirt. And he's wearing a hat. I don't know what kind of hat it is. Maybe a fedora. And look, she has a scarf and a purse. And she's wearing a dress. I can see that something. I think that this is a pocket here on Lisa's shirt too. Lisa was searching under the chairs and in back of the washing machines when she heard the manager call her. "Is this what you're looking for, señorita?" Oh, there it is. Can you find him? I see where he is. Yep, there he is right there. "Yes, yes, he's my best friend," shouted Lisa as she came running. She reached in and picked Corduroy out of the basket. "So this is where you've been, you little rascal," she said. "It's time I took you home." Lisa thanked the manager and ran out the door and down the street, holding Corduroy tightly in her arms. "I thought I told you to wait for me," she said. "Why did you wander away?" "I went looking for a pocket," Corduroy said. "Oh, Corduroy, why didn't you tell me you wanted a pocket?" asked Lisa, giving him an affectionate squeeze. I look at her face, and she seems to be very happy now that she found Corduroy. That very morning, Lisa sewed a pocket on Corduroy's overalls. "And here is a card I've made with your name on it for you to keep tucked inside," she said. "I've always wanted a purple pocket with my name tucked inside," said Corduroy, as he and Lisa Nuzzled noses. Zoom in here close. Can we see? There's his purple pocket on his overalls. And there's the card that she wrote. It says Corduroy on it. The end. And that's the back of the book. It says a pocket for Corduroy as well. So, if Corduroy had wanted a pocket, what could he have done? I know back here when he saw that Lisa was looking in her pocket, what could he have done back then to get a pocket for himself? Instead of wandering away, what should he have done? I think maybe he could have asked Lisa or waited. It said earlier that he was waiting patiently for her to do the laundry. Maybe he could have waited a little bit longer, a little bit more patient, and then gotten a pocket when he got home. Then he wouldn't have been lost overnight. What do you think he should have done? I would tell somebody in your family, I want a pocket. Could you sew me a pocket onto my clothes? I think that would work. So another question I have is, has anybody ever made any clothes for you? I mean, a lot of times we buy our clothes at the store, but what if you have something that's special that you want somebody to make, or that you want? I asked my sister, and she made me a mask. Everybody's wearing masks nowadays, so I said, could you make me a mask? Whoa! And she made me this mask. She knows that I like this football team, the Raiders, so she made me a mask. And I thought that was very kind of her, because it's something that she can do, and it was a gift and something nice, and it keeps me covered and keeps me from possibly getting sick. What do you think? Pretty cool, huh? So if you're unsure, maybe you can ask somebody in your family, has anybody ever made me any clothes? A lot of times when you're a baby, somebody will make you a blanket. And you keep that for a long time. I kept my baby blanket for years. My mom still has it to this day. All right, my friends. I enjoyed reading Pocket for Corduroy. Even though it is the third time that we read it, I still enjoy that story. I guess that's it. Until next time, I'm going to say goodbye.